Hey there, Year 12. So we are now doing example 10 where I'm going to show you can still do repaying interest only using a financial calculator, which is the financial solver, and you can still do the same thing. So here we go to menu, same thing as example 9 is what I meant. So finance solver. This is from my previous. I'm just going to delete them all. And yeah, okay, all good. All right, so let's go back to the problem here. So Stuart borrows $180,000. So my PV is what I'm borrowing. I'm borrowing $180,000 to buy a house. Now he negotiates interest-only loan for this amount, and the interest rate is 7.6% per annum. So I now know I% is 7.6 per annum, and it's compounding fortnightly. So for those who don't know, fortnightly, it's every 2 weeks, and there are 26 of these fortnightlies in a year. What is the fortnightly payment correct to the nearest cent? Okay, so this is where you just got to be careful. Interest rate is pretty easy. It's 7.6, but the number of payments we know, so it is compounding. I guess we'll write 26 here. Okay, so we're writing, compounding every month, every year is compounding once. So one payment of 180,000, and we don't know that we're trying to find fortnightly payment, and keep in mind that the payments per year is 26 because that's how many times you pay in a year. So we just want to know, oh, whoops. This is why we shouldn't press up or down. It should just be tabs. So shift tab goes back. Our future value, this is where it's interesting. So what's the future value? If you're only paying interest only, it means you still owe $180,000 by the end of that year. Because when you pay interest only, you never ever pay back what you owe to the bank. What you pay is the extra amount, which is the interest. And if you only focus on that, you stay afloat, essentially. And because you're staying afloat, you still owe 180,000. Now be careful, don't write 180,000 as a positive value, because that would mean the bank owes you 180,000. We want to make sure this is negative to ensure that the future value still means you still owe the same amount. So then the payments, if you ask them, okay, so I'm going to be paying 26 times in a year because there's 26 fortnightlies at an interest rate of 7.6 and a borrowing capacity that I had borrowed at 180,000. And in this case, I want to know in 1 year. Okay, so compounded after once, 1 year, then, after one compound, so just looking at the first compound, what's the payment? So how do I work out the payment? Well, the main thing was the future value is negative 180,000. So here I press enter in PMT, and you can see there that gives me negative 526. I'm just going to screenshot this. Okay, so this tells us now, and this is key. So I'm going to write here, this is key, negative 180,000 to show still owing. And then therefore here the payments tell me that I need to pay $526.15 every fortnight. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's how much I need to pay, $526.15 every fortnight to ensure that I still owe $180,000, and I'm only paying just the interest, and the finance solver should be able to figure that out for you, providing that you entered all the correct details there. And I often forget PPY, which is one of the more important parts, especially when it says compounding fortnightly or compounding daily or monthly. That's what you should be looking at. Okay.